Hello from the Yarn Closet in Southern Arizona. My name is Laura. I am legally blind. This is my yarn closet. And I figured out the whole how to upload something effectively in my Southern Arizona internet wonky system. So we are back on track to have some podcasts. I'm very, very excited. Many of you will notice the little bits of Reiki that I'm throwing out there. I have a Patreon also. You can check out the Yarn Closet over on Patreon, where I also share the Reiki over there. You can join Patreon for free and follow people for free. There is a lot of free content over there. I'm so scattered. I'm so excited. It is summer break. We are on summer break from May 20th until July 20th. That's it. That's our window. And I have no idea if anything is really going to happen this summer. We're supposed to be slaughtering pigs next month. My husband is over it. It's been very hard to even sell them. They are completely organic, no antibiotics, no nothing. I couldn't eat pork for 25 years. If I bought it in the grocery store, I couldn't eat it. If I went to a restaurant, I couldn't eat it. I could eat a couple slices of bacon here and there, but certainly not a lot and not every day. Because I'd get migraines. The additives would give me migraines. Our pork, I can absolutely eat it. It's amazing. It also has a very different flavor. It's very light. It's really good. The kids like it. My kids are very picky eaters. I've got one child on the spectrum and one child who's just a heavy eater, but she has her daddy's sweet tooth. So it's interesting. We are going to be out of the animal butchering business per se. We really only we wanted to raise some baby pigs. We wanted to breed, do that whole thing for family because they all were very interested. But then when it came down to brass tacks, nobody really wanted to get financially involved. But we've managed to get through and sell most of the piglets. We have a few we're going to be butchering next month for family and a couple of friends. And we already got rid of our goats to a goat sanctuary. They are much happier. You know, goats are social creatures, and they liked the dogs and they liked the pigs. But once the piglets grew up, they didn't really like them that much because they were too rough. We had a bunch of boy pigs. They're much happier now. They have friends, they have space bigger than what we had, hundreds of friends. I mean, it just makes me happy. And that's a hard thing. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. You know, you feel like you've made a mistake. But I don't feel like we made a mistake. I feel like this was the season. This was the lesson, the learning. There is a learning curve. I also feel like I'm moving out of my season of animal rescue, so I'm giving a bunch of my stuff to a dog rescue over here because I've got some kennels and some cages and food dishes and dog beds and stuff. And I'm making space for that new thing to come in and fill my world. Look at that. This is light sunburn, but really this is what happened when I had my baby at 43. This skin got all very pink and dark, and it has stayed that way. I mean, wearing a reddish shirt doesn't help. Hubby is in Tucson helping our oldest move into a new apartment today. He's just providing a vehicle. because they don't have a vehicle right now. And we're very excited for them, hoping that this is a good move for them. You know, it's the first time they're moving together. It'll be an interesting event. We'll see how they fare. They've been engaged for just over a year now. There's a little bit more talk of weddings and dates, but we'll see how it goes. I'm certainly not pressuring them. I don't feel the need to. What else? I recently completed an 8-week course in Kundalini yoga, which I really liked. I really liked the way it was put together. Go over onto my Instagram and look up Living in Light. North End Soul, S-O-U-L, is Polly, and she does a great program. She's in Portugal. Because Kundalini has different aspects. It has the mantra, it has the meditations, it has the kriyas, and they really are standalone practices. And for whatever reason right now, my physicality is being really challenged. A year ago, I started the process of going off of the meds they put me on after my hysterectomy at 45. And because I was really showing no signs of being perimenopausal, having what we think of as the menopause symptoms. So for all intents and purposes, the ovary that was left was done. I was menopausal. And I didn't feel like being on the meds anymore, that it was necessary. I don't know that it was really necessary at the time, but going through as many surgeries as I did, having a little kid, a baby, 2-year-old, I think I was just overwhelmed, and so I went with the recommendations. No one explained to me that one of the meds was significantly keeping my weight down. I had no idea. So my weight has been up and down this last year, and it's really weird because what I'm realizing is, and my weight is fine. I mean, I'm not complaining about it. I'm healthy. But what I didn't realize is how the shift. So right here's my belly button. Right here are my ribs. All of a sudden, this very short space, I'm very short-waisted, this very short space right here has just puffed out in front. I've gotten thicker in front. I mean, I still have a waist, but it's certainly not the way it was, and it's puffed out in front. I don't know how to explain it. There are times where I sit down and I feel like this is very heavy, but it feels pretty muscular based on the breathing and the yoga and the walking and the stuff that I do. Yeah, I can't. So I've been in a process of trying to find some slightly different cut t-shirts, some different sized pants that work for me. Because I'm like, okay, I'm shifting into a new style. I don't want to try to dress like a 30-year-old. I'm in my 50s. And it's a challenge. I mean, because brands, you can buy a 10 in this brand and you're a 14 in that brand, an 8 in this brand, you're 12 in this brand. I mean, it's insane. Insane. The pants I love the most tell me I'm an 8. Yet I try to buy an 8 in any jean. There is no way in hell. No way. I'm lucky if I'm lucky somewhere between a 10 and a 12 right now. And then the fit is just so wonky. Who knew? Who knew? So in the midst of all of that, I've been trying to have a little completion boost. Here is a crochet and knit sweater, because I like to combine the two. It is much faster to crochet the body and then put on knitted cuffs. However, I really do like a good crocheted neckline because I like a bit of a boat neck. So I recently finished this one, and this is just in a real easy washable acrylic. You get a slightly different look when you're crocheting in the round versus flat. Same stitch in the round versus flat, so that's an interesting dynamic. I like it. It doesn't fit me too bad, but my daughter really liked it too, and it fits her, like, you know, she's a very big 8-year-old. Okay, she weighs 80 pounds. She's not very big, but compared to the girls in her class, she's very tall. She wears a woman's size 4.5 shoe. You know, she's almost as tall as my mom. She's about 56, 57 inches. So I think it'll be the two of us that'll be kind of sharing this one. Because, of course, she says she wants it. When does she ever wear any of the other stuff I've made her? When does my son? When does anybody? I mean, there are dozens. I donated this year dozens of pairs of mittens, fingerless gloves, hats, scarves. I'm growing it out. This cut is growing out really well. I mean, my cousin did a good job. But I'm growing it out. I'm gonna see how I feel with it longer. Just see. Because here we have the other sweaters that I have knit her and crocheted her. Got this one. She wore it once. Got this one. Yeah, she wore it maybe once. She could still wear this. This is adorable. And if you can't tell, let me fix the button. There's a little P on it. That's a Stranded Dye Works color work. I don't remember what colorway. And then this one. These would all still fit her quite nicely. No. Do we ever wear them? No, we never wear them. And then my son. Oh, I gotta have that. I love that. Because he's got very, very long arms since he's 6'3". So this has a really long arm span. So for his 6'3" body, you know, whereas it's a little too much in the sleeves for me. The day he had to have it, he wore it for an hour, hung it up in his closet. It's been there ever since. It annoys me because I just finished a blanket for my son Larry, who is 6'10", and his fiance, and I think she's 6'1". It is twice the size of the blankets that I knit for everybody else. Everybody else around here likes these about this wide, so maybe 30, 32 inches, 34 inches wide, and about 4.5, 5 feet long blankets, because it's just enough to get over your legs. You can throw it around your shoulders really easily, and you're not sharing with anybody. For them, they're so long and tall that I made it bigger and longer that they could put it maybe over both of them on the couch. Hell, I don't know. I just make stuff. Nobody wants it. Like this. My daughter has this one that she's had for 6 years. It's to put a water bottle, or like this one specifically fits her phone. She's got a phone in case she goes somewhere. She needs a phone for emergencies. And then she had to have a bunch for friends in case she had friends visiting. Well, if they're visiting, they're inside. So I'm thinking this is going to go in a birthday present. But I made all of these recently. And then the kid's birthday to go to in a few weeks. Dun, dun, dun. Remember that knitting retreat I went to in April? Okay. Here we go. Here we go. This is a very small 16-inch, but I'm starting the ribbing at the bottom. It's a 4x4 because I don't like the ribbing to actually pull it in, because like I said, menopausal body. But I'm making headway. My plan was to make that a short sleeve. We'll just have to see. Because I like the idea of short sleeve stuff and wearing like a long sleeve t-shirt underneath of it in warmer times. And that's lighter weight, so I'm really thinking short sleeve will work. I don't know. I don't really know my older lady style. I'm past that need for constantly taking things on and off. My skin is changing, so I do feel like I need to have it a little bit more protected. But the flowier t-shirts have the wider necks. Like I like a tighter neck just for the protection of my delicate older skin. But here's the deal, nothing's perfect, work with what you got. And I feel like there's so much abundance in my life, so it just needs to keep coming and going, because that's the way of abundance. And I really feel like my kids recently just did a toy downsize. My son feels so much better in his room. He had a lot of things he was proud of he made years ago, but he realized he's kind of at a new level, so it's okay to like recycle those in. They're mostly Lego related. And it was nice to see them recognize, oh, less is more, because now that I have less, I see what I have and I use what I have. When I had a ton, I just went to my iPad or played video games, or for my daughter, went outside. She's outside a lot. She tans. We do not have the same coloring. She tans. She's a lovely, lucky child. But I'm not sure how the next couple of months are going. I'm going to try to be very monogamous on this. And there's a very long shrug sweater style that I've been seeing a lot of things on, where the sleeve part is tight, it's all knit flat and seamed. That's the only part that's seamed. And then you've got this very big chunk that comes across your body, but there's enough where you wrap it around your body. So it's sweater-y, sweater-like. But here's the thing, I like that, and I'm gonna make it and put it on me, and it's not gonna work in my 52-year-old life. it was quite a bit cooler this last winter than I was expecting. So I am hopeful for my sweater collection. I don't know. I don't know. How are people knitters who live in Arizona and it's not just a bunch of socks? Because I get so bored with the socks. So bored. I don't know. These are interesting days. Interesting days. I hope the rest of you have been having a good 2023. We're almost halfway through. I felt going into this year that this was like a new birth year. Change and stuff. And what I'm finding is I'm in a season where I can't affect a lot in my unit, my family, but I can affect a lot in me. So I've been doing a lot in breath work, yoga, trying to pull apart even a few minutes here and there to prioritize myself each day, and some inner monologues and mantras that are positive and making me feel good. And just trying to, every time there's a good thing, bolster it up, and not be constantly looking at the negative things. I got my husband to agree to stop a lot of his negative talk, and because I would fall right in there next to him. He'd start and I'd just keep the train running. I don't think that's good for our kids to hear, because it's usually obnoxious comments about other drivers or somebody who's dressed inappropriately at the 3 p.m. pickup or at church or something. And that's our opinion. We don't know what the deal is with these people, nor should we be judging them. I may not like it, but whatever. Is it really hurting me? No, it's not. And it's not hurting anybody else as long as I keep my mouth shut. It's when we open our mouths and we point it out and we objectify it, and that person, that happens to then affect the people around us, and it's just this thing that's icky, and I'm so done with that in my life. And it's hard because we're human beings and we talk about other human beings, and my thing is I'm trying to make that talk all about the positive stuff, all about the good things, and oh, I met her and isn't she lovely, and wow, they've managed to get through this really difficult season in their life, way to go. Like, why can't we just keep doing that? Why can't we find the positive things and do this to everybody else? Lift them up, lift them up. I want people to lift me up. I want to hear the good stuff. I want to know if things are great. I just went through a series of mammograms and scans and everything else. I had 20-year-old breast implants removed just over 4 years ago because of some questionable mammogram stuff that regular healthcare wasn't dealing with. So I paid privately to do this. I had the implants removed. I had the capsules around the implants removed. I didn't just have them popped and drained. I had the whole thing taken out and then the scar tissue removed. I looked vastly different than I do today post-surgery. In the 4 years, like, my breast tissue has evened out again. I look like a normal human being, comparable to what I looked like before. And so I want to say that if anybody has fear, if they hear about it and want to do it. But I'll tell you this, a lot of things changed for me in that year following the removal. My migraines went down by 95%. My daily rashes were gone within months. my daily inflammation, where I would be that size 6 in the morning and need to be wearing stretchy pants or a size 10 in the evening. Itchiness, irritability, complete exhaustion. My husband was shocked at how immediately different I was after they took those out, and how 3 months later, I was just a new person. He was shocked. He couldn't keep up with me. We had a little hurdle because when we first met, he was very, very active. I wasn't so much. I had this baby shortly after we got married, because I ended up pregnant a couple months in. I had lots of surgeries, all this stuff. And then he had a diagnosis, and he's slowed down very much since then. But I got all this energy. I mean, it's been a frustrating dynamic. I want to do a lot more in life than I get to do right now, and it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. All I can say to anybody else in a similar circumstance is my parents are a great example that life doesn't end at 60. They have had very, very active retirements and moved state to state, moved homes, lived here, lived there, been married multiple times. I mean, they do stuff, they have fun. So I know that it's just a season. We're just in a season. And I can't wait to see where we end up. And I'm really enjoying the fact that I get to spend this season with my kids. My 15-year-old is getting his permit in a couple months. And so that's fun to practice and to do practice tests online and read the information. And my daughter's at a great age where all of a sudden, it's gin rummy and cribbage all the time, and lots of conversation about stuff. I mean, there's just this big uptick. Reading is opening her world so much. I'm trying to really enjoy all of that stuff. So I hope that you're finding those moments, even if you're having a summer that isn't some Pinterest, Instagram perfect vacation time. A lot of us the kids are out of school and we make the best we can, and that's normal. And I'm trying to present more reality online. It's hard, I think, because there's a lot of stuff going around in the background in everybody's life, some of which you don't even talk about in your own life. So how are you going to talk about it online? And that's been something I've been struggling with a lot this year, is just having more outlets to share the weight. I think that we need to collectively be making an effort to pull those things out of people and share the weight a little bit more. I think we do need to make an effort to be more engaged. So on that note, I'm going to go write a couple quick emails and chat with some ladies that just popped into my head that I haven't chatted with in a while. And try to do that, and try to get that ball rolling and get that habit forming in my own life. Look with your heart first, not your eyes, and we will chat again soon.